Hi, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to Bookmas, and these are some anticipated releases for the first quarter of 2025. Kind of an extensive list here. I think I've got around 40-ish books. Most of them I have found. Some of them were sent to me. I did a little question box on Instagram. But I just want to start off by saying all of these dates I have found on Goodreads. So if they are wrong, don't come at me, come to Goodreads, okay? I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Let's start off with January. January is chock full of releases. We've got about 16 releases in January. So we'll start off with The Starlight Heir by Emily Howard. So this is a romantasy that I found out because the author is actually coming to Rare in October next year. So this is about a bladesmith with the power of the stars in her blood and a prince with a dangerous secret. They fight to save their kingdom in this spicy and spellbinding romantasy inspired by Persian and Indian mythology. So perfect for readers of Sarah J. Maas and Thea Guanzin. So that sounds so good. Also, this cover is just giving me life. I think it's beautiful. I thought it might have been the same publisher as Fourth Wing, but it's not. It's Avon. Either way, I'm excited. Next, we have a new Adrian Young, and that is A Sea of Unspoken Things. So I have had some loves and some flops from this author. So I'm hoping this next one will be a love. This is about a woman who investigates her brother's mysterious death while coming to terms with her own haunting past in this atmospheric novel. This is about James and Johnny Golden, whose all they ever had is each other. So they're twins. James is the girl twin and Johnny is the boy twin. They have a really deep connection. She can feel what he feels. So when Johnny's killed in a tragic accident, James knows before her phone even rings that her brother is gone and that she's truly alone for the first time in her life. So when James arrives in the rural town of Hawthorne to settle her brother's affairs, she's forced to rehash the ominous past she and Johnny shared and finally face Micah, the only person who knows about it. He's also the only man she's ever loved. So it's giving mystery thriller vibes. I DNF'd June Farrow, but I loved Spells for Forgetting, so hopefully this one will be on the Spells for Forgetting side. Next is one of my most anticipated releases for the whole dang year, and I got an arc of it. I was so happy. I squealed when I saw that email. But this is Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. So the UK and Australian version is publishing in January, but I don't think the Americans are getting it until April. So something just a little bit cool about us down here. This is Kylie Lee Baker's debut adult horror. I'm so excited. Her young adult novels are super horrific, so I'm very excited to see how she's gonna do with the adult genre. But this is about Cora Zhang, who is a crime scene cleaner. She washes away the remains of brutal murders and suicides in Chinatown. But the bloody messes don't bother her. Not when she's already witnessed the most horrific thing possible, her sister being pushed in front of a train. Before fleeing the scene, the murderer whispered 2 words: Bat Eater. So this is giving COVID. I don't think I've read a book set in COVID before, so this is going to be a first, and I'm happy to do it for Miss Baker. Yeah, so it's also got probably that mystery thriller aspect too, because she looks like she's trying to figure out who is killing all of these East Asian women. And yeah, I am very, very excited. Next is another separate genre debut for an already established author, and this is North is the Night by Emily Rath. So this is Emily Rath's debut romantasy. You might have seen her hockey romances taking the booktonet by storm early this year. This is about 2 bold young women who defy the gods and mortals in this darkly mythical Finnish folklore-inspired fantasy duology for readers of T. Kingfisher, Daniel L. Jensen, Thea Guanzin, JLA, and Genevieve Gornajek. don't know if I said, but I also have an arc for this one too, which is pretty cool. The tags down the bottom here are saying romanticism, mythology, it's LGBT. Very excited for this. This one was a write-in by my lovely friend Ali over at All I Do Is Read. She's very excited for the new Grady Hendrix, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I was going to say I've never read a Grady Hendrix, but I did read the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires, which was okay. It was only a 3-star. I'm going to guess this is about wayward girls, right? It's set in the summer of 1970. You've got Fern, who is 15 years old, who arrives at this home because she's pregnant, terrified, and alone, and she's under the watchful eye of the stern Miss Wellwood. So while she's at this home, she meets a dozen other girls under the same predicament. You've got Rose, who's a hippie, who insists she's going to find a way to escape with her baby. You've got Zinnia, who is a budding musician, who knows she's going to go home and marry her baby's father. Then you've got Holly, a wisp of a girl, barely 14, mute and pregnant by no one knows who. So this does actually sound pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. This cover too is so pretty. I don't know if this is the Australian cover or the American cover. Either which way, I'm very excited for this book. Next is one I found just scrolling through Goodreads, and this is called Brewed with Love by Shelley Page. This is a sapphic romantasy. It's given paranormal romance because we've got some witches. We've got a bit of enemies to lovers vibes because you've got Sage, who is a plant witch, right? Her family's apothecary is needing some help, so her grandmother hires Zimina Reyes, who is Sage's ex-best friend and first crush. I'm so excited. So I think they're going to have to team up to save the apothecary, but it also looks like there's a sort of mystery happening behind the scenes too, so they might have to team up to solve that too. Another sapphic romantasy I'm looking forward to that I also have an arc for is Enemies to Book Lovers by Laura Catherine. So I am meeting this author at ARA in January, so I'm so excited. I have heard some reports back from people who have read it or are in the middle of reading it, and I am getting keen. So this is about Echo and Morgan, who are in love, but they're enemies. I believe they're both like sidekicks to like these two bigger, badder people, but Echo and Morgan, who are the sidekicks, they fall in love and they run away to start their own little bookshop. So perfect for fans of Travis Baldry and Rebecca Thorne. Next, another write-in. I wasn't gonna say it, but I feel like everyone who's anyone or anyone who's everyone knows about this book coming up, but this is Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. So this is book number 3 in the Empyrean series. I have yet to read Iron Flame, but I will be reading that next month with the lovely Tracy. We are buddy reading it. This book is actually set 18 months after the start of Fourth Wing. So that is actually a pretty like big time between the two. I think this one is going to be smaller than Iron Flame, which, look, we need to stop the chunky fantasies. Come on, we don't need to have all these little filler chapters. Just give us the story because you're already like blowing our minds. We have another queer romance here. This is called The Relationship Mechanic by Carmen Lee. A small town rom-com that's for fans of Hannah Bonham Young and Ashley Herring Blank. So you've got Jessica, who comes to Peach Blossom for a visit, but when her rental car breaks down, she gets the help of mechanic Vinny, where they might have a special time. But then something happens where Jessica is carless around town, and so she asks Vinny to help her out. Look, it's contemporary romance. You're going to expect a happily ever after. And I just love this cover. I just love women. They're just so pretty. Look at them. This next one, I don't actually know if it's coming. I don't think I've seen the author talk about it. Let me just find out. I think this might be real because she has been posting stuff about it here and there. This is called Phantom by H.G. Carlton. Now, I am currently reading Haunting Adeline, right? And this is a like stalker romance, and Adeline moves into her grandmother's home, and she finds these diary entries from her great grandmother, her Gigi, who might have had a stalker of her own. Now this new book coming out in January is called Phantom, and this is about Gigi's story. I am so excited. Like I said, I'm currently reading Haunting Adeline, so I don't know if we actually ever find out what happened to Gigi and her mysterious lover, but I'm so excited to read this prequel book. Next is one I really hope does come out. Seamless Ghoster books always seem to have a date on Goodreads that don't actually line up with the actual release, but I am manifesting, okay? This is the Hemming brothers' third book. I love her werewolf romances, okay? And so this one is about Trap, who used to be the golden boy. Something happens and the town hero gets dumped. So when his position as the coffee shop darling is usurped, when his brother's giant wedding pushes him to the edge of sanity, and his med school rival winds up in Cranbrook Creek, there's a bad moon rising and the golden boy's villain era is here. Super steamy, antagonistic enemies to lovers with big I hate her, touch her and die, oh no, I love her energy. I'm so excited. I love all three of the Hemming brothers. Oh, I'm so excited for this book. Okay, you have no idea. You have a little bit of idea if you're watching me squeal over it. Also, this cover. I'm dying. Okie dokie, another romance. Straight one this time, and one that I have a arc for. Oh my gosh, but this is Spiral by Bao Cabra. So I've yet to read Collide by this author. This one makes, like, I kind of want to read it more because it's got a ballet dancer, and The Striker by Anna Wang was also about a ballet dancer. So, you know, I just love that sort of trope. But this is a fake dating sports romance between the newly drafted hockey player Elias and aspiring ballerina Sage. It looks like they fake date to try. She wants to become more popular and he wants to stop getting asked when he's going to settle down, I think. So they sort of fake date for that. I'm excited. I love this cover. It's so pretty. I love the pinks. And I think this has a different publishing date in the US, saying in Australia it's getting published in January. Ooh, okay, so next we have a Yin Yang love song by Lauren Kung Jessen. I read one of her other romances earlier this year. I can't remember what for. I don't know if it was a book club pick or I just did it because I could. And that one had some issues. I liked the writing, I just didn't like the characters. So I'm hoping that this next book is gonna make me feel differently about this author. Chinese herbalist Chrissy Hua Williams never actually believed in the Wow family curse. But after breakup number 9, Chrissy stopped laughing. Now she and her aunties run a special healing retreat center for the brokenhearted. After all, there's nothing a proper cup of herbal tea can't fix. But Chrissy's innocent run-in with celebrity cellist and bad boy Vin Chow has everyone brewing about a different kind of tea. So he offers her a deal. They'll fake date, he'll break her heart and increase ticket sales, and in return he'll promote her business. It's like Chrissy's whole cursed love lives have been leading up to this moment. But all it takes is one kiss and a whole lot of unexpected chemistry to land both of them in hot water. So that sounds really good. It sounds there's going to not be a lot of I think I didn't like in her other book, what was that called? Luna Love. Luna Love, there was a lot of lying, and I don't like lying in my books. But this one doesn't seem like it's going to be like lying to each other. It's just going to be fake dating, so it's lying to other people, which is fine. It's fake dating. I'm okay with it. Next, we have Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young. I've yet to read anything by this author, but I really, really want to. I've heard she's got some really great love stories. But this is about high school sweethearts Sarah and Caleb, who have always been a sure thing. For the past 17 years, they've had each other's backs through all of life's ups and downs, achievements, losses, stages, and phases. But Sarah has begun to wonder, who is she without her other half? That's right, I remember now. She's trying to do something by herself without Caleb, but it does unexpectedly fail. So Caleb steps in to save the day, And so now Sarah and Caleb, there's a rift between them now. So I love to read about, as already established couples just trying to find their way through life, pretty much. In a desperate attempt to fix what they fear is near breaking, Sarah and Caleb make the spontaneous decision to join a grueling hiking trip intended to guide couples through rough patches. What follows is a life-affirming comedy of errors as two nature-averse people fight their way out of the woods in order to find their way back to their roots. I think this is going to be so fun. I really liked Highly Suspicious and Unfairly Cute for that like woodsy aspect of the novel. So I'm hoping this one will be good too. Alright, another write-in by the lovely Tiffany, and this one is called Blob, a Love Story. The title had me intrigued, but the synopsis drew me in. This is a book that looks at identity and desire in profoundly different ways. So a hilarious and moving debut novel about a young woman who decides to turn a sentient blob into her perfect boyfriend. So daughter of Taiwanese father and white mother, Vi Lu has never quite been fit into a Midwestern college town. Now at 23, after getting dumped and dropping out of college, Vi works as a front desk attendant at a hotel where she refills cucumber water, samovars, and fends off overtures of friendship from her bubbly blonde co-worker Rachel. But when Vi decides to accompany Rachel to a local drag show, her life changes forever. In the alley outside the bar, next to a trash can, is a blob with beady black eyes. Unable to leave it behind, Vi picks up the creature and in a moment of drunken desperation takes it home. So as her pet blob becomes sentient, Vi realizes it obeys her command and she decides to mold the blob into her ideal partner. But as Vi's desire to be loved unconditionally threatens to spiral out of control, she is forced to confront her lonely childhood, the ex-boyfriend who has unfriended her, and the racial marginalization that has defined her relationships. Ultimately, Vi embarks on a journey of self-discovery and learns that it's impossible to control those who love you. So this is giving literary fiction, but I'm hoping that the content makes it enjoyable for me to read. So yeah, thank you so much for Tiffany for putting this on my radar. And then last but not least for January, we have The Sirens by Amelia Hart. So if you don't know, Amelia Hart wrote Wayward, which was my favorite book of 2023. This is another story of sisters who are like separated by time, pretty much. So Wayward was like 3 different generations of these witches, right? And it sounds like this is going to be the same sort of deal. And it's set in Australia, which I'm very excited about too. But my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna love you and leave ya. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow in another Bookmas video. Wait, this was only January. Okay, I'll see you soon in my February video.